And it's once again time for Music Lessons in a Box Musical Bingo. Make sure you have your crayon or your marker and you are ready to circle the ones that get called. You need to get B-I-N-G-O either straight across or diagonal. And then what do you do, Kendra, if you get bingo straight across or diagonal?
Then you post it on social media, the hashtag Music Lessons in a Box.
Have to use the hashtag Music Lessons in a Box, and not everyone who has a card who's playing is going to be able to get all B-I-N-G-O, and not everyone who posts their winning card on Instagram is going to get the points because you have to be one of the first people in order to earn your points. So make sure you play right away and that you post your picture right away so you're one of the first winning people and you will get your points. I think that's it. Make sure you use this month's card and this month's video. Good luck! Staccato is a dot above or below a note, and it just tells you that you're supposed to disconnect that note from the other ones around. Don't hold it out a long time. The bottom line on the bass clef is always going to be a G. A measure is just a chunk of beats within a song. Most songs have at least 8 or more measures. Some of them have up to like hundreds of measures. It looks like fine, but it's pronounced fine, and it means it's the end, the finish. This is on the first little ledger line above the bass clef, which means this is middle C. That rest looks like an upside down hat, which means it's a whole rest, worth 4. This whole note is worth 4 beats. That is the incredible jazz pianist Bill Evans. The third line up on the treble clef is always a B. Since the spaces of the treble clef spell the word face, F-A-C-E, this one is on the bottom, which makes it the F of face. Since forte means loudly, fortissimo means really loudly, it's usually indicated with 2 F's next to each other. 4/4 time is the time signature where we can have up to 4 quarter notes in each measure. The fourth line on the treble clef is always going to be a D. That's an 8th note, which is worth 1/2. Eight VA means you're supposed to play it 1 octave or 8 notes higher. It kind of looks like a B, but it's actually a flat sign, and it means to play the note slightly lower. This counts as a B in the treble or the bass clef. An accidental is any flat or sharp or natural sign, anything telling you to play something different than what is normal for the song. The third space up on the bass clef is always going to be an E because the spaces spell the word ace, A-C-E. This is the third one, it's an E. This is a bass clef sign, also known as an F clef. It is the graph for all of the lower notes. This is the great composer Scott Joplin, sometimes classified as a classical composer, but usually classified as a jazz composer. This counts if you've got a C in the treble clef or in the bass clef. Tenuto means to hold the note for the full value, maybe a little bit longer. The bottom line on the treble clef is always going to be an E. Mezzo forte means kinda loud, because mezzo means kinda and forte means loud. This counts as an A in the treble clef or the bass clef. The second space up on the treble clef is an A because all the spaces spell the word face, F-A-C-E. The one, the only Mr. Beethoven. Anytime we have the treble clef and bass clef showing up together, it's called the grand staff. This note is on the space above the bass clef. It's one note below middle C, which means this is B. 8VB means you're supposed to play that section 1 octave or 8 notes lower. This is the great, the amazing Bach. The second line up in the treble clef is always going to be a G. This half note is worth 2 beats. This counts as an E in the treble clef or the bass clef. Mezzo piano means kinda softly because mezzo means kinda and piano means softly. You get to mark it off if you have an F in the bass clef or the treble clef. This counts as a D in the treble or the bass clef. This note is on the space above the treble clef, making it a G. This rest only has one notch or one flag on it, which means that it's an 8th rest worth 1/2. If 2 of the same notes have a swoopy line over or below them, that means they're tied together. You're only supposed to play the first one and just hold it out through the second one. An accent looks like a little V on its side above or below a note, and it just means to punch that one a little bit harder, make it a little bit louder. A bar line is an up and down, a vertical line that separates measures. BPM stands for beats per minute, and it's the tempo marking for any metronome. The time signature is what tells us how many beats are in each measure and what kind of note we're counting with. That's a quarter note, which is worth 1.
A decrescendo looks like a sideways V going from the big end to the little end, showing you that you should have a lot of sound going to a little sound.
A repetition is any part of a song or solo where you're just repeating some little group of notes. Forte means play it loudly. This dotted quarter rest is worth 1.5 beats.
Did you win? I hope you won! That's all the ones that we're calling for today. So hopefully you were a winner, and if so, then you need to take a picture right away and post it to Instagram with the hashtag musiclessonsinAbox. And if you weren't a winner, don't worry. We're playing again next month. You'll get a new card, and you can pick up the points then. If you were the winner, let us know right away, and we'll see you next time. Love ya!
Bye.